This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For connectors, cables, and more, call 920-435-2973 or visit pl-259.com. And by ICOM. Heard it, worked it, logged it. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information about ICOM radios.
It's Ham Radio.
Greetings, everyone. It's time for another episode of Ham Talk Live. It's episode number 301. The Youth DX Adventure 2022, recorded on Sunday, July 17th, 2022. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ham Talk Live. Today we're joined by Candace, KE8MMS, TJ, KO4FFA, Brennan, K6BFL, and Jim, AB8YK, live from Caracao. They're on the Youth DX Adventure as we're recording this program, so we will talk with them live in just a little bit. Last time here on the show, it was Vance Martin, N3VEM, who was here to talk about the Summer of Parks on the Air. So if you missed that show, you can listen anytime at hamtalklive.com or use your favorite podcast app, or you can just play it on YouTube, or you can catch the rebroadcast of Ham Talk Live on WTWW, that's 5085 on your AM dial, Saturday afternoons at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we want to thank WTWW for carrying the show. And I'll be back with the Youth DX Adventure crew right after this word from ICOM America, right here on Ham Talk Live. Keep your competitive contesting edge with ICOM. Our high-powered base stations cut through pile-ups, letting you work the bands and record those contacts. Contests from the comfort of your own home or remotely with the RSBA1 app. Heard it, worked it, logged it. The IC7851 gives you a new window into the RF world and is HF excellence unparalleled. With faster processors, high input gain, high display resolution, and a cleaner signal, it is truly the pinnacle of HF perfection. It has dual receivers, digital IF filters, memory keyer, digital voice recorder, Spectrum waterfall display, and an SD card slot. The IC7610 is the SDR every ham wants. This high-performance SDR can pick out faint signals in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The IC7610 by ICOM is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that has changed the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has 110 dB RMDR, dual Digicel, dual receiver, and RF direct sampling. Create your own band opening with the IC9700. This transceiver radio brings direct sampling to the UHF VHF weak signal world. It's loaded with innovative features that are sure to keep you busy. Faster processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. With a 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectroscope and waterfall display, dual watch operation, full duplex in satellite mode, and smooth satellite operation with 99 satellite channels. The IC7300 is a high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design that will far exceed your expectations. The innovative transceiver digitizes RF before various receiver stages, reducing inherent noise in different IF stages. The IC7300 changed the way entry-level HF is designed. It has 15 discrete bandpass filters, the large color touchscreen, Spectrum scope, SD card slot, and RF direct sampling. The real HF fun starts here. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
If at first you don't succeed, skydiving isn't for you. You're listening to Ham Talk Live with Neil Rapp.
welcome back to Ham Talk Live. Well, out on the island of Caracao today, we have Candace, KE8MMS, TJ, KO4FFA, Brennan, K6BFL, and, of course, our friend Jim Storms, AB8YK, and they join us on the Orlando Amateur Radio Club and Hamcation Zoom line. All right, we're here live from Caracao with I'm not in Caracao. I just got home from Jamaica, but I'm back here in Kentucky, but the Youth DX Adventure team is in Caracao, and we're live here with Candace, KE8MMS, TJ, KO4FFA, and Brennan, K6BFL, and one of their team leaders, Jim Storms, AB8YK, and we want to update you a little bit about the Dave Kalter Memorial Youth DX Adventure 2022. So, Candace, you've been on the air here for, was this the third day?
Yes, I have.
And how are things going on the bands?
Things are going all right. Thursday night was a little rough because it was just the beginning, and then what is today? Sunday?
Yes.
All right. So Saturday was a little rough. We had some storms in the morning, and it kind of caused us not to get as many contacts as we expected on Saturday. So it got a lot busier last night, but other than that, it's been going pretty well. And then we did hit 6,000 this morning, so that was really exciting. Other than that, though, it's going pretty good.
So lots of pile-ups?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. That's always the fun of doing the Youth DX Adventure. You get all those pile-ups, and so that's really cool. TJ, how about you? How are things going for you on the air so far?
They're going great. I was on 20 meters earlier today and working some pile-ups, and then I was also on 15 for a little bit there. But conditions have been pretty great today. We've had a ton of contacts today. Yesterday was a rough start, but later into the day we started to get a ton of contacts.
All right. Well, that's really good. And yeah, I know we had one of those little storms pop up in Jamaica, and boy, it wreaked all kinds of havoc around. I was glad I just had my arrow antenna and could bring it in, so I didn't have to worry about it too much. But yeah, it's great that things are improving here as time goes on. And how much longer will you be on the air?
We're gonna hopefully we'll be on all today, but tomorrow we're gonna operate for a little bit and then maybe take a break. We're hoping to beat the last year's record from 2018.
Oh yes, that's a tradition. Every year they have to beat the previous record. So, well, good luck on that, and hopefully some people will be able to get you here in the next several hours that you're on. Well, Brennan, I actually got to talk to you on 15 here about an hour ago. How's it going for you?
You know, everything is a lot of fun. We had like everyone said, propagation wasn't fantastic yesterday. I believe we had a little bit of a solar flare come out. But later in the night, especially 20 meters is open almost the entire night. So that's a ton of fun. And 15, which you talked to me on today, was definitely open and to Europe and America. So it's been a ton of fun working and operating down here.
Now, I looked on the website and it said, a lot of 10, 15, and 20 meters. And then last night I was able to hear one of your parents, I believe it was, or one of the helpers on 75. Is that everything that you're doing, or are you on for some 40, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, so one of the station helpers, Yuli, Delta Lima 8 Oscar Bravo, Quebec, he was on 80 meters last night making a few contacts. We were also on a little bit of 17 meters today, both CW and SSB. And we also have a few hundred 40-meter contacts, mostly CW right now. But our major bands are 10, 15, and 20, and then CW on 40 meters and a little bit of sideband, and then mostly CW on 17 meters as well.
Very good. And did you do anything with the Ready contest? Or was that part of the failure of the internet that I'm going to talk about here in a second?
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to take part in any of the RTTY operations.
Okay. So, Candace, tell us a little bit about, every time you go to do something, there's always unexpected, unavoidable problems. And so talk a little bit about what happened with the internet here.
I'm not extremely familiar with that, but I believe we were supposed to get the internet set up the first day we were here, and unfortunately they have just not gotten around to it over at the station. So unfortunately we haven't had access over there.
All right, Jim, you got any more detail on that?
Yes, I do. The original plan, Jeff Howard came down early because they were supposed to be installing it Thursday. And we are on island time, as you're well like Jamaica. And they didn't show up. And Friday they were supposed to, and the bucket truck was broke, so they didn't show up. And they don't work weekends, so they'll install it on Monday and get configured on Tuesday while we're on the plane. So, unfortunately, they're installing fiber, and Jeff worked really hard in getting it from the top of the big hill through all the brush and sagebrush and nettles and through the sand and everything down to the pool, and they hooked every house up but his. So,
oh my goodness,
it's been an issue, but as usual, we move on and find ways to work around it.
Yeah, they're actually installing fiber in our neighborhood right now. As we drove in from the airport, we saw all these caution flags in the yards where the coax is run along the yard from the fiber box, and I'm getting ready to switch. And of course today, my internet goes down. So, there's always something, but, at least the cables will be run for future, operations. But, that's the beauty of radio. I was still able, I didn't have internet, but I could get on and talk to Brennan on 15. So, it works out really well. It just slows down the logging a little bit and some of the spotting. Well, TJ, what's been your favorite part of the trip so far?
Really getting to use the radios and the antenna system. They've got a really, really nice antenna system there at the shack, and that was really exciting to learn how to use. And learning how to operate split was also pretty fun. I'd never done that before.
All right, Brennan?
Yeah, the most fun part about this was definitely meeting everyone. So we got to meet Jeff and Yuli, with Jeff being the station owner, and really awesome people. Jeff is super, super nice, as Yuli is as well. But I'd never met Jeff, and he's an awesome dude, super smart, and it's awesome he's letting us use his station down here. And he just has so much knowledge about operations and his station and everything like that. So he gave us all some tips on both SSB and CW for managing the pileups.
Oh, that's really cool. And that's no small station you're on there, PJ2T. That's a very nice station. Candace, how about you? What's been your favorite aspect of the trip?
I really like the thrill of the pileups. It's a lot different here than it is at home, just because everybody wants to contact you. So, Friday night I had a big pileup. I think it was on 20 meters and QRT. Unfortunately, there was still a pileup, but we were just exhausted and had to go to bed. But I really enjoy meeting everyone. It's really nice seeing more youth in ham radio, just because back where I am at home, I really don't know a lot of youth. And then just getting to know everybody, and the weather out here is absolutely gorgeous. The view is beautiful. So all of that is just, it's icing on the cake, really. But yeah, it's beautiful here.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up the, getting to know other youth, because this is a recurring theme. With Yoda, the Youth on the Air that I have been directing for a couple of years. That's one of our big things is we want to get everybody together and get to know each other. And, it sometimes, youth will really feel isolated. We have some youth, in the hobby and service, but they don't always know about each other. It's rare that I go to a club meeting and there's not at least one young ham. The thing is, they feel like they're the only one young ham, and there are thousands out there. It's just a matter of getting to know each other. So this is another great opportunity to get to know some of the other youth, and you get to learn a whole lot about each other when there's only 3 or 4 operators. I know in the past we've had some pretty incredible grilled cheese makers, and we found out all kinds of things about everybody. So what's the secret talents here, Candace? Do we have any of those this time?
I don't know. I mean, Brennan is really good at CW. He's been knocking that out of the park. But I do not have any secret talents, unfortunately. And I don't know about TJ. TJ, do you have any secret talents you want to tell us about?
Well, this is really my first time operating for a really long period of time, so that's pretty exciting. I've only been licensed for about 2 years now.
Very good. Brennan?
Hello?
Any secret talents that you found out about Candace or TJ?
With Candace being a lady, her voice travels a lot, or seems to cut through the radio waves a lot more. So I guess her secret talent is being able to make a dead band come alive again with a massive pileup. TJ and I will just be on the radio calling for 15, 20 minutes at times during slow points and not get any callers. And Candace can jump on and get a pileup within minutes.
Yeah, it's that extra 3 dB. They just if it's a YL, just give her a three extra 3 dB. Yeah, go ahead.
Candace, she was operating, and we were trying to get up to 6,000, and they had brought food out, and Candace stayed on for an extra while trying to get up to that 6,000.
It's addictive.
Yeah, we were Brennan and I were operating. He was on 15 and I was on 20, and we were going back and forth, and it was like a thrill, like all the the build up, the anticipation. Yeah, like it was just, we were looking at each other like, who's gonna get it, who's gonna ring the bell, and then everybody's videotaping you, and you're just like, who's gonna get it? And of course, nobody. I couldn't get anybody, and then Brennan got it. So
there were just moments, like a minute of just no one calling for the last contact, and then all of a sudden I just got one person.
Yeah.
It was I was so nervous trying to get that 6,000 contact.
6,000.
He started to speed up there.
Yeah.
Yuli cut off the amplifier on Candace last night. we were shutting off we were shutting off the station for the night, and Candace still wanted to operate, and everyone else was going to bed, and so Yuli came up and shut off the amplifier.
Given it was about 12:30,
yeah,
1 o'clock.
It was 1 o'clock.
It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was keeping everybody up. They're like, "No, Candace, you're done.
Well, that's part of the fun of going on these trips. You don't have any real set time schedule. It's that island time that it can work against you, but it can work for you too, so you can stay up and make contacts. Right. All right. Well, we're going to take a break here. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Jim a little bit about the program and some of the fundraising and that kind of thing and how you can help and all the QSL information and that kind of thing when we come back right here on Ham Talk Live.
Thanks for choosing Tower Electronics. How may we help you today? We have PL259s, we have in connectors, we have SMA adapters, we have BNC adapters. What can I show you today?
Where's the tower?
Well, we don't actually have a tower with us, but we have all kinds of things you can use with a tower. We have power poles, antennas, soldering irons, and meters.
Where's the tower?
Ma'am, that's the name of our company. We can't haul towers to all the Hamfests across the country that we visit, but we have almost every connector and adapter you would need to connect your antenna that's on your tower.
I don't think there's a tower back there. I really don't.
Tower Electronics. Visit us at a Hamfest near you or call 920-435-2973 or see our whole catalog at pl-259.com. Sorry, one thing we don't have is a tower.
And the Tower Electronics Hamfest schedule. July 30th, they'll be in Winchester, Indiana. August 6th in Elkhart, Indiana. August 13th in Huntington, West Virginia. August 20th and 21st in Huntsville, Alabama. And September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Shelby, North Carolina. Or visit them online at pl-259.com.
You're listening to Ham Talk Live.
And welcome back to Ham Talk Live. Hey, be sure to check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And sometimes we'll even throw out the topic of the show ahead of time so you can ask your questions. Make sure you check out our website at hamtalklive.com. Well, before we get back to the folks down in Caracao, it's time for the Ham Talk Live Joke of the Week.
Now it's time for the Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week, the part of the show where Rick tells us a ham radio joke. The Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week is brought to you by QRM Labs. Now, here's Rick Garrett in 9 GSU with today's Ham Talk Live Joke of the Week.
I was doing a Parks on the Air activation, and when I got back, somebody had complimented my parking. There was a note under my windshield wiper that said, "Parking fine."
This has been the Ham Talk Live Ham Radio Joke of the Week with Rick Garrett in 9 GSU. Tune in again next week for another joke from Rick.
All right, we're back on Ham Talk Live with the Youth DX Adventure team down in Caracao. And Jim Storms AB8YK is here, and he is one of the big proponents of this program and one of the leaders, and also has the pleasure of being the incoming Hamvention chairman for the Dayton Hamvention the next couple of years. So, Jim, what's your take on how things are going here this far into the trip?
I'll tell you, Neil, this has been quite a surprising and pleasant trip. Other than our travel issues, which were monumental, as everybody knows when they're traveling these days by air. But this group has just been phenomenal. I put them right at the top of the groups we've had in the past. And we've had some really great ones. But these kids, they just get on the air, and it's literally, like Candace said earlier, it's prying them out of the chair. They just keep going and going and going. They're Energizer bunnies, I guess, but they're very efficient operators. There's been a lot of good comments on the ops, and they just keep going and going, and they are really racking up the queues.
Well, that's always great to hear. And I know this adventure's been down because of COVID, and so it's nice for you to be back and able to get these kids on the air from a nice big station somewhere. So, well, tell us a little bit about the fundraising. I can tell you, I started adding up the numbers from Yoda Camp, and prices, oh my, did they go up? And I know yours did too. So tell us a little bit about financing this trip.
Yeah, we do this all by donation. We get money from a lot of different places, a lot of clubs, several organizations, and they really help us to do this trip. Without them, it just would not happen at all. And you're right, expenses have gone through the roof. Airfares went up, in our case, almost 40%. We got down here, and food is about 20% higher than it was before. So we're still waiting on the water and electric bill to see what those are. The housing, we had a locked-in rate from 2019, and I'm not sure what's going to happen if we come back again next year, what the housing's going to run. But we do this all by donation, and you can go to our website, which is qsl.net/N6JRL. And that'll pull up our website, and you can click on the left side. It'll tell you how to donate. I'll also tell you how to get a QSL card. So we do that. We'll print a really nice QSL card and send it out to people. But that's how we do it. We've got some big manufacturers that help us out. ICOM gives us a radio to auction at Hamvention through a raffle, and that pays a lot of our expenses. DX Engineering supports us. I hate to start naming them because I know I'm going to leave people out.
Exactly.
Clubs such as Indexa have helped us out this year, and hopefully will continue to. They've helped us out for multiple years. Dayton Amateur Radio Association, which I'm a member of, obviously, is a huge supporter of it and really helps make the trip happen. And then there's a myriad of other clubs that do, and individuals. And if you actually donate as a business or as an individual, you will be on our QSL card, your logos and names listed for the private people. So that's how we finance it. We're going to have to really look tight and see what the money's going to be next year, because it is getting expensive. And I would just want to give a big thank you to the Caribbean Contesting Consortium, which is the group that manages and keeps PGA2T running as a consortium. Jeff is the owner, of course, but they actually pay the money to keep the station alive, and when they come down, they have to pay. But they're nice enough that they donate that amount for us to operate. They do not charge us to operate here. We do pay for water and electric to help offset their expenses, but they let us use their equipment, let us use the station. Jeff was up on the tower today painting part of the tower, so they keep it maintained and keep it in great shape. It's a super station.
Well, it's great that you have all that help, because you need all the help to make these big things happen like this. And I'm fully aware of that with Yoda. So it's great that you've done that. Well, talk a little bit about plans for next year. So if there's a young person listening that wants to try to go next year, how do they find you? How do they get a hold of you and your team to apply and to go on one of these trips? And do you have a location in mind?
Okay, at the moment, we had a location, but he asked us to defer to 2024. So hopefully the consortium will let us come back again. I have not talked to them about it yet, but we hope to have a location, and there's a couple of locations we're going to investigate as potential new sites in the future. But it takes a couple of years to work that all out. Anybody that wants to apply, and I said earlier, gave you the actual website, but if you actually Google Dave Kalter Youth DX Adventure, it'll send you right there. And on the left side, we will be putting up an application form somewhere, probably about a month or so out, so that we can start people applying for it. The way the funding works is that we actually pay from the departure point of the United States as a team to the site and back. The team members have to pay to get to our embarkation site. So there is some skin in the game doing that, and it is a commitment. And we ask the participants to work work their clubs and stuff like that to help us raise funds. So that's the way to do it, is just go on the website and watch it. And when the application comes up, they can start applying. There is a formal process for that. And we review those applicants and make our selections from that. The other thing is there's some clubs that we're aware of that support us greatly, that we actively ask them for participants. And that's how we got one of the members this time. We had one drop out because he wasn't able to work on the schedule from 2019's pushback. So we asked a club member or a club to recommend a person from their club because it's one that supports us greatly.
All right. Well, that's cool. And if you can't remember any of the address or what to Google, youthontheair.org, we've got a link straight to you there. So, you can go there and see that as well. And, as well, information about how to donate.
Yes. Well, it's the same thing. There is a spot on there for donations. Unfortunately, we used to take PayPal, but the way PayPal changed some stuff and some things that happened internally with us, we have discontinued that. So basically, it's the information to how to send a check to me to get deposited and support it that way. It is a 501c3 organization that we work through, so they would be considered tax deductible.
Okay, very good. Well, hopefully some people will continue to add to that 6,000 here in the next day or so, and you have a chance to see the sites a little bit and then get back safely. And I'm not sure how this happened, but all four of our flights along the way to Jamaica and back were early and running on time. So I don't know how that happened, but I hope that the return trip is just as easy for you all. And Jim, one more thing, you're not doing this by yourself. Talk a little bit about your hosts and your teammates here.
Okay, the hosts is Jeff Howard is the owner. He came down to be sure the internet's normally he handles just our interface with their club to get everything worked out, and he's not usually here. But Uli, FICAL, Delta Lima 8, Oscar Bravo, Quebec, comes down from Germany and acts as our host here. He's in charge of being sure the radios work, that we don't screw something up, and making everything work when there's issues. So he's our host here. And with me is Ron Doyle, N8VAR, as an additional team lead, and Don Dubon, N6JRL, is here also. Each one of the kids has a parent or grandparent with them. We do not ask that below 18 kids come with us going out of the country without an escort, because I'm not even going to approach that with customs. But they travel with a family member who is responsible for them on site and their well-being. And that's the people that are involved, and they all work hard. Of course, when we get down here, sometimes it's the kids, especially this group, they work on their own really well. So I get to kind of sit here on the veranda and watch the ocean go by.
Yeah, I remember Bryant Rascal's mom always enjoyed the pool time while she was along with Bryant on the Youth DX adventure. So yeah, it gives the adults some time to relax a little bit. So once everything's running. Well, Jim, thank you so much for getting the interview together here with Candace and TJ and Brennan, and just want to say thank you to the entire team making this happen, and look forward to hearing about next year's Youth DX Adventure Crew.
Very good, Neil. Thank you for the time to talk to the people. Look for us on the air through Monday at about 5 p.m. is when we'll probably go QRT about then.
All right, Candace, TJ, Brennan, any last comments before we go?
Thank you for all the support with working us on the band. It's been a ton of fun up here.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone that's helping support Dave Kalter Memorial Youth DX Adventure, and allowing me and Candace and Brennan to come out here. We're very thankful.
Yeah, exactly what they said. I mean, they thank you for everything, and spread the word, and have as many people work as possible.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being there, and thanks for the queue, and thanks for getting through all that security and customs and everything to get down there to have some fun on the radio. So that is a wrap for this episode of Ham Talk Live. Thanks to my guests, Candace, KE8MMS, TJ, KO4FFA, Brennan, K6BFL, and Jim Storms, AB8YK. And I invite everybody to tune in next time for another episode of Ham Talk Live. So for now, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375, and may the good DX be yours.
For 73s, to you and your family, I'll be seeing you further down the law. Yeah, 73s, to you and your family, I'll be seeing you further down the law.